We're covering 50 games in 30 minutes, all selected by the Playfully automated bot.
We have 1 segments today, 50 popular new releases.
Next, 50 popular new releases. Number 1. Cyberpunk 2077.
Single player, FPS, the developer says.
It's an open-world, action-adventure story set in Night City, a megalopolis obsessed with power, glamour and body modification.
Partial controller, open world, and action adventure.
Cyberpunk, and futuristic. It's priced at $59.99.
Number 2. Project Wingman.
Single player, flight, and FPS, the developer says.
It's a flight action game that lets you take the seat of advanced fighter jets and become a true ace.
3,100 players reviewed it, and 94% gave it a thumbs up.
Full controller support, arcade, and shooter. It's priced at $24.99.
Number 3. Red Dead Online.
Multiplayer co-op and PvP, third-person shooter, and FPS.
The developer says.
Online PvP, and online co-op, partial controller.
Action adventure, and open world.
Number 4. Empire of Sin.
Single player, turn-based tactics.
The developer says.
It's a new strategy game brought to you by Romero Games and Paradox Interactive that puts you at the heart of the ruthless criminal underworld of 1920s Prohibition-era Chicago.
Covered by Windows Central, The Gamer, and Shack News.
Partial controller. It's priced at $39.99.
Number 5. Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond.
Multiplayer single player, and PvP, war game, and action roguelike.
The developer says.
Take the fight to war-torn Europe in Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond.
Online PvP, action adventure, and open world.
War, and World War II. It's priced at $59.99.
Number 6. Haven.
Multiplayer, single player, and co-op. JRPG.
The developer says.
2 lovers gave up everything and escaped to a lost planet to be together.
Local co-op. Covered by The Gamer, Game Watcher, and Slant.
Full controller support. It's priced at $24.99.
Number 7. Monster Sanctuary.
Multiplayer single player, and PvP, turn-based.
Creature Collector, and Metroidvania.
The developer says.
Monster taming meets Metroidvania. Collect, train and battle monsters in a lovely side-view pixel world.
Online PvP. Covered by The Digital Fix, The Gamer, and GameSpew. It's priced at $19.99.
Number 8. Contagion VR Outbreak.
Single player, survival horror, and horror.
The developer says.
Contagion VR Outbreak will immerse you into the middle of a zombie apocalypse.
Action adventure, and survival.
Zombies, and post-apocalyptic. 490 players reviewed it, and 67% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $19.99.
Number 9. No Place Like Home.
Single player, life sim and immersive sim.
The developer says.
Humanity trashed the Earth and left for Mars. Only few people remained. Clean the environment and gather resources. Find new fluffy friends and robot allies.
Farming sim and base building, nature and agriculture.
120 players reviewed it, and 80% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $4.99.
Number 10. Dragon Quest XI S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition.
Single player, turn-based, JRPG, the developer says.
The Definitive Edition includes the critically acclaimed Dragon Quest XI, plus additional scenarios, orchestral soundtrack, 2D mode and more.
610 players reviewed it, and 95% gave it a thumbs up.
Full controller support. It's priced at $39.99.
Number 11. Crumble.
Multiplayer, single player, and PvP, 3D platformer.
The developer says.
It's a dynamic physics platformer. Move like a slime, jump like a ball, swing like Spider-Man.
Local PvP. 160 players reviewed it, and 94% gave it a thumbs up.
Full controller support. It's priced at $14.99.
Number 12. Chronos, Before the Ashes.
Single player, Souls-like, the developer says.
It's an atmospheric RPG that chronicles a hero's lifelong quest to save their homeland from a great evil.
Full controller support, action RPG, and action adventure.
Atmospheric. It's priced at $29.99.
Number 13. Unto the End.
Single player, real-time, side-scroller, and 2D platformer.
The developer says.
It's a challenging combat adventure game in the style of a cinematic platformer. The story is simple, get home to your family.
Full controller support, action adventure, and exploration. It's priced at $24.99.
Number 14. Morbid, The 7 Acolytes.
Single player, Souls-like, and horror. The developer says.
It's a horror-punk action RPG filled with Lovecraftian horrors and Cronenbergian gore, making it the most gruesome take on the isometric Souls-like genre yet.
Full controller support, action-adventure, and action RPG.
Lovecraftian and steampunk. It's priced at $24.99.
Number 15, Danger. Escape Lab.
Single player, puzzle platformer. The developer says,
Danger, Escape Lab. Revolves around a conspiracy theory about current events worldwide.
Exploration and action-adventure.
40 players reviewed it, and 75% gave it a thumbs up.
Released December 15, 2020. It's priced at $4.99.
Number 16, Eternal Radiance.
Single player, JRPG, and hack and slash, the developer says.
It's an action role-playing game about a squire named Celeste who begins a journey to prove herself worthy of becoming a true knight.
Full controller support, visual novel, and action adventure.
Fantasy. It's priced at $15.99.
Number 17, John Wick Hex.
Single player, real-time tactics, and time management.
The developer says,
It's a fast-paced, action-oriented strategy game that makes you think and strike like John Wick, the professional hitman of the critically acclaimed film franchise.
Covered by Metro, GameSpot, and Destructoid.
RTS and shooter. It's priced at $13.99.
Number 18, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, Grand Prix.
Multiplayer, single player, and PvP. Combat racing.
The developer says.
Nickelodeon Kart Racers is back, and we're kicking it into overdrive.
Online PvP and local PvP, partial controller.
Action adventure and arcade. It's priced at $19.99.
Number 19, Bondsman.
Single player, beat 'em up, and 3D platformer.
The developer says,
It's a hardcore indie shooter, based on the author's cartoon of the same name, about a hobo superhero, who punishes evil in the futuristic city, ridden with crime.
Shooter and fighting. Cyberpunk. 300 players reviewed it, and 73% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $15.29.
Number 20, Marion, Dragon's Princess.
Single player, flight, and CRPG. The developer says.
Marion, Dragon's Princess is an RPG about a dragon and a princess.
Action adventure and action RPG, dragons and fantasy.
41 players reviewed it, and 87% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $9.99.
Number 21, Geometric Sniper.
Single player, FPS. The developer says.
Immerse yourself in Andrew's story and feel the pressure of being a sniper.
120 players reviewed it, and 100% recent reviews gave it a thumbs up.
Hidden object, and shooter, sniper, and stealth. It's priced at $1.59.
Number 22, Dungeon Slime Puzzles Adventure.
Single player, mystery dungeon, and puzzle platformer.
The developer says.
Dungeon Slime, it's a challenging game. Every time you hit the walls you change the shape of Billy the Slime.
32 players reviewed it, and 100% gave it a thumbs up.
Full controller support, action adventure, and platformer. It's priced at $1.59.
Number 23, 1976, Back to Midway.
Single player, FPS, and side scroller. The developer says.
Are you ready to travel back in time to 1943 and relive the excitement of classic arcade dogfights?
38 players reviewed it, and 100% gave it a thumbs up.
Covered by Paradise Decay, Immersed Robot, and Gamertag VR.
Full controller support. It's priced at $7.49.
Number 24, Battle Bears -1.
Single player, third-person shooter. The developer says.
Don't get hugged to death. Battle Bears -1 is an action-packed 3D shooter with swarms of huggables and massive bosses. Your childhood nostalgia is back.
15 players reviewed it, and 100% gave it a thumbs up.
Action adventure, and shooter, survival, and space. It's priced at $2.99.
Number 25, House of God.
Single player, action roguelike, and bullet hell.
The developer says.
As the House of God races towards heaven, Jack blasts their way to the conductor in this chaotic and fast-paced roguelite.
22 players reviewed it, and 95% gave it a thumbs up.
Roguelike and shooter, atmospheric and old school. It's priced at $4.99.
Number 26, Tavern of Gods.
Single player, action roguelike, and creature collector.
The developer says.
Tavern of Gods is a roguelike auto battle game. Players collect heroes, skills, followers, and equipment to form various builds to fight with random monsters.
Roguelite and auto battler, magic and fantasy.
190 players reviewed it, and 88% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $13.99.
Number 27, Blastin.
Multiplayer, single player, and PvP, hero shooter, and bullet hell.
The developer says.
In the slow-motion bullet hell of Blastin, you duck, dodge and weave to evade incoming attacks while preparing your dazzling next combos in a flash of skill.
Cross-platform multiplayer, and online PvP.
Covered by The Gamer, VR Scout, and Road Topper.
31 players reviewed it, and 96% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $9.99.
Number 28, Don't Give Up.
Single player, survival horror, and time management.
The developer says,
How would you react when facing a near-death experience? Despair. Perseverance. Maybe sorrow.
12 players reviewed it, and 100% gave it a thumbs up.
Survival and Management. Released December 19, 2020. It's priced at $1.19.
Number 29, Alien 911.
Multiplayer, single player, and co-op, third-person shooter.
The developer says,
It's a hybrid third-person shooter tower defense game that you can play solo or multiplayer.
Online co-op and local co-op.
full controller support, tower defense, and action RPG. It's priced at $5.19.
Number 30, Scraps. Modular vehicle combat.
Multiplayer, single player, and PvP, action roguelike.
The developer says,
Scraps is a vehicle combat game where you can build your vehicle from functional parts, with design as your ally and physics as your accomplice.
Online PvP, partial controller, building, and automobile sim. It's priced at $14.99.
Number 31, Power of Two.
Multiplayer, and co-op, top-down shooter.
The developer says,
Local co-op fast-paced action game about pushing, dashing, and colliding. But there is always something more.
Local co-op, 20 players reviewed it, and 100% gave it a thumbs up.
Partial controller. It's priced at $5.99.
Number 32, Red Rage.
Single player, FPS, and horror. The developer says,
It's a gory, wave-based zombie FPS with a unique art variety of maps and unlockable weapons, where the player's objective is to reach the highest score before they die in order to unlock increasingly powerful guns.
Full controller support, shooter, zombies, and dark. It's priced at $2.99.
Number 33, Dawn.
Single player, third-person shooter, and hero shooter.
The developer says,
It's a third-person shooting game about the journey of Maya, the superpowers who can manipulate time, and Max, the hacker who helps her.
2,200 players reviewed it, and 94% gave it a thumbs up.
action adventure and shooter, robots, and atmospheric. It's free to play.
Number 34, Spellbreak.
Multiplayer and PvP, third-person shooter. The developer says,
It's a multiplayer action spellcasting game where you unleash your inner battle mage.
Cross-platform multiplayer, and online PvP.
covered by IGN, MMORPG, and PC Mag. Partial controller. It's free to play.
Number 35, Creeper World 4.
Single player, real-time, grand strategy, and wargame.
The developer says,
The unstoppable fluid enemy has returned and destroyed every world in its path.
Covered by Rock, Paper, Shotgun, Baron Von Games, and Dad's Gaming Addiction. 1,100
players reviewed it, and 96% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $24.99.
Number 36, Worms Rumble.
Multiplayer, and PvP, arena shooter, and third-person shooter.
The developer says,
Worms Rumble is Worms like you've never played it before, with intense, real-time, arena-based 32-player cross-platform combat.
Cross-platform multiplayer, and online PvP.
covered by Eurogamer, The Gamer, and PC Invasion.
Full controller support. It's priced at $14.99.
Number 37, Rubber Bandits, Christmas Prologue.
Multiplayer, and PvP, heist. The developer says,
It's a sneak peek at the upcoming heist brawler, Rubber Bandits. Steal from Santa, beat up the other bandits and keep their presents for yourself. See you on the naughty list.
Online PvP, and local PvP, full controller support.
fighting, and arcade. It's free to play.
Number 38, Ultimate Zombie Defense.
Single player, and co-op, top-down shooter, and horror.
The developer says,
Team up or face it alone in this top-down zombie-slaying defense adventure.
Online co-op, action adventure, and shooter.
zombies and survival. It's priced at $3.74.
Number 39, Fireworks Mania, an explosive simulator.
Single player, FPS. The developer says,
Fireworks Mania is a small casual explosive simulator game where you play around with fireworks, create beautiful fireworks shows or just blow stuff up.
190 players reviewed it, and 97% gave it a thumbs up.
sandbox, and building, destruction, and atmospheric. It's priced at $11.99.
Number 40, Leafling.
Multiplayer co-op and PvP, JRPG, and hack and slash.
The developer says,
Leafling Online is a free-to-play 2D action morph with an evolving world. Explore, fight, craft, cast, and delve your way through dangerous dungeons and discover new areas on the overworld.
MMO, online PvP, and online co-op.
MMORPG, and action RPG, fantasy, and magic. It's free to play.
Number 41, Wing of Misadventure.
Multiplayer and PvP, real-time, JRPG, and horror.
The developer says,
This game is the definitive massive multiplayer online RPG experience, featuring a unique art style, carefully crafted loot system and fast-paced combat style, making it the perfect match for hardcore and casual gamers alike.
MMO and online PvP, action RPG, and strategy RPG. It's free to play.
Number 42, Hanukki Sunset.
Single player, the developer says.
It's a third-person longboarding game where players follow Tanuki.
120 players reviewed it, and 95% gave it a thumbs up.
Full controller support, action adventure, and skateboarding.
Released December 4, 2020. It's priced at $14.99.
Number 43, Initial Drift Online.
Multiplayer and PvP, immersive sim, and combat racing.
The developer says.
Drift over some of Japan's most legendary mountain passes, compete against your friends or players from around the world in epic battles, make deliveries, buy new cars and set records in the world rankings.
MMO and online PvP, full controller support.
Open world and automobile sim. It's priced at $4.99.
Number 44, Exo Tanks.
Multiplayer, single player, co-op, and PvP, third-person shooter, and hero shooter.
The developer says,
Dynamic tank shooter. Play on unique tanks of the future with individual abilities, mechanics and appearance. Upgrade your tank during the battle.
MMO, online PvP, and online co-op.
Shooter and MOBA, tanks and war. It's free to play.
Number 45, Rise of Dragons.
Multiplayer co-op and PvP, CRPG, and heist. The developer says,
This is a global cooperative game. Join with other players to slay boss, become more powerful, and show off your skills in territory battles, Dragon City battles, and more.
MMO, online PvP, and online co-op.
Action adventure and action RPG, magic and medieval. It's free to play.
Number 46, Blade of God.
Single player, 3D fighter. The developer says,
Blade of God is a 3D hardcore action game. The gameplay is centered on free combat, based on Nordic mythology, with multiple characters, multiple weapons, and skills.
Full controller support, action RPG, and action adventure.
100 players reviewed it, and 81% gave it a thumbs up. It's priced at $5.59.
Number 47, Talamir 2, Curse of the Kittens.
Multiplayer, single player, and co-op, action roguelike, and 2D platformer.
The developer says,
Lady Talamir's kittens have been acting strange. Still, the dungeon's rituals must be carried out. Despite the unusual circumstances, how many rooms can you clear?
Online co-op and local co-op.
Full controller support, roguelike, and roguelite. It's priced at $9.99.
Number 48, Crunch Element.
Single player, and co-op, FPS. The developer says,
It's a 1 to 4 player coup game about raiding destructible compounds using explosive gadgets and tactical weaponry.
Online co-op, shooter, and stealth, Cyberpunk. It's priced at $19.99.
Number 49, War Identity.
Multiplayer and PvP, FPS and war game. The developer says,
It's a team-based first-person shooter set in chaotic events. You play as a survivalist or UMSC in competitive multiplayer game modes.
Online PvP, Battle Royale, and shooter.
Survival and America. It's free to play.
Number 50, Wrecked, Crash Test.
Multiplayer, single player, and co-op. The developer says,
A high-octane, stunt, arcade game with an addictive combo and trick-based gameplay set in a retro arena.
Local co-op, full controller support.
Arcade. 71 players reviewed it, and 80% gave it a thumbs up. It's free to play. That's it for today. Thank you for watching the Playfully Automated Show. We'll be back soon.